Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder. It has been a hot minute since I taped last. So my the last time I saw you guys was January 17th. That was my first FlossTube of 2026, and this is only my second. I wanted to get better about taping this year, and it's just lots of stuff has been going on as usual. So hopefully it's not as long between now and next time, but no promises. All right, so my stats since the last time I saw you guys. So since the last time I taped, which like I said was January 17th, I have gotten 33,857 stitches. Now, full disclosure, I had surgery on February 25th, and so I've been off work. I'm off work until this next Monday coming up. So I've had a lot of time to just stitch. With that being said, I lost my streak. So the day of my surgery, I was just so out of it that there was no way I could tape. I've done other surgeries where I've been able to tape. I'm sorry, not tape, stitch. I've done other surgeries where I've been able to stitch even the day of the surgery. This time I couldn't. So I lost my over 2-year stitching streak. So there was only one day I didn't stitch, and that was the 25th. So started a new streak, and I am currently on day 13 of 13. So I was bummed about that, because I had worked really hard to stitch every single day. So that felt so weird, but there was just no way that I could focus to do that. The surgery, so I was the first one. We had to leave my house at 3:45 a.m. because the surgery was downtown Pittsburgh, which I'm not that far from. However, we got a horrific snowstorm, and my dad had a feeling that was going to be the case. So thank God my dad drove us, and he's one of the most competent snow drivers ever. So I felt very safe, but I'm sorry, this is kind of tangenty. My migraines get triggered whenever whenever snow's coming at me in a car and it's dark. So I had to keep my eyes closed the entire time to not trigger a migraine. On top of that, I have been getting migraines almost daily, to where I had to take my prescribed medication for that. I want to say for like a week and a half before. It was like about a week and a half. Okay, let's say that. I could not take my migraine medication a week out from the surgery because my migraines seemed to be triggered whenever I was in the car. I stopped going anywhere a week before because I was so afraid I was going to get a migraine and I wouldn't be able to take my medication, and then everything would just be a disaster. So, again, to make sure I didn't get a migraine, I have my eyes closed the entire time down there. So 3:30 in the morning, we woke up. My surgery, I want to say, was scheduled for 7:15. I think I went back around like 7:45. And I think we ultimately got home around like 3 or 4. The surgery went really well. I only needed to use the prescribed pain medication for like 4 days. I was having some side effects from it, so I really didn't want to continue with it. So I powered through. Go me. So surgery was a success. For anyone watching the first time, I had a total hysterectomy as a preventative because I have the BRCA2 gene mutation. So, all right, that's done. I'll talk some more about the surgery at the end with the life updates with some stuff. Okay. So let's see here. I did touch 14 projects since the last time I saw you guys. My total stitches so far for 2026 is 46,330. All right. Before I get into my stitching, I wanted to do a FlossTube shout out. I have a new favorite FlossTuber. His name is Charles, and he is the Snuff Box Stitcher. I will tag him down below. I think he was doing stuff maybe previously, and he's kind of restarted his channel. I want to say he just did video 6, I think. I watched all of them. He is so funny. Like, I really like non-traditional, like people you wouldn't expect to be FlossTuber / cross stitchers. And I think that Charles fits that. Super funny, very, very sampler focused, and is even working on designing his own sampler, which I'm really excited to see possibly come together. He is along the same lines for me as Stitchpocalypse, whom is another one of my absolute favorite FlossTubers, Collin over at Stitchpocalypse. So yeah, check them out. I'll tag Collin down below. Also, again, I would call them non-traditional cross stitchers, and they're just so enjoyable to watch. They bring a whole different energy to the FlossTube and cross stitch space. So please check out Charles, Snuff Box Stitcher. Okay, moving into stitching. All right, Milestone Manor, which I absolutely love. But you know, ADHD. I have to change things up all the time. So I am still doing it, but I've completely altered it at this point. So I had opened, I think it was 12 rooms, and I really got to a point where I wanted to focus on things more than just for the allotted stitch amounts that I was rolling. So what I decided to do was continue with the projects for the rooms I had opened. I am going like in chronological order of what the bags are numbered in my whip pile. And each time I pull one out, I am figuring out what milestone I want to work towards during that stitching session. And whether it takes me, one day or a week to get to that milestone, that's what I'm doing. So instead of focusing on stitch counts and seeing if I get a milestone, I am deciding on a milestone and working towards that every stitching session. So I am now calling them rotations. So I guess what I'll do is so I'm doing that. Okay, back up still some more. Sorry. I am also, because I really need to get I need to feel like I'm making some progress towards finishing things. So whenever I set up my Milestone Manor, you had to go through and like attach different types of dice to each room to figure out hit points. So for my stitches that were like the smaller ones, I gave them the lower dice. So I'm also going through and picking from those and pulling one and then working on it until it's finished. So because of that, I actually have 3 finishes to show you guys this time also. I'm rearranging my bookshelves. I'm sorry. I am so like all over the place right now. Even though I have notes, I'm just going all over. I'm in the process of rearranging my shelves. I'm going through destashing a bunch of books, kind of swapping out some of my decor. I've decided I'm kind of over a lot of my Funko Pops. I decided to keep King George, which you can't see, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Alexander Hamilton. They're staying up here. And I think a couple other ones, but a lot of them, I just had like everybody from The Office. It was just taking up so much space. So I decided to put a lot of those away. A lot of stuff I'm just kind of putting away. Not getting rid of, putting away for now, so that I can have some additional room to display some of my cross-stitch stuff as I get it done. and just other things in general. I'm kind of on this shelf right here. This shelf, ignore it, because now that I've brought your attention to it, you're going to look at it the entire time. This shelf just kind of has stuff on it right now. It is not what it's going to look like. I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I finished six of the shelves. This is where I'm working, but I hit like a decision fatigue where I can't make any more decisions in a day. That being said, I have a bunch of new listings up on Pango. My link for my Pango store is always down in my description. If you if you're looking for used books, I have a ton of books on there. I've been selling on there for quite a while, and some of them are brand new. So feel free to check that out if you want to. Okay. Back to stitching. All right. So, let me show you guys. Let's start with, I, have two things that I'm stopping. So I have one complete UFO. This is one I've been going back and forth on for a really long time on whether or not I wanted to finish it. And I wasn't having a whole lot of fun doing the frame. I felt like I would have a lot of fun once I got into like the stuff that was on the shelves. But ultimately, when I look at all the projects that I have, this isn't one that I'm like really passionate about. So I am going to UFO this. This was a mystery sal from the Stitch Crypt that was put out several years ago. 2023. I'll put a picture of what it was supposed to look like here, because the only picture I have is of the first one. Now, on top of not being like, not having a ton of fun doing it, I also don't think I have all of the pieces. Do you know what I mean? Like each of the releases, because I'm pretty sure that I downloaded those onto my computer that has since died. And was unable to get those off. So I also don't want to get to where I have finished the frame and am unable to do anything else anyway. So I have just decided it is a total complete UFO. I'll just show you guys where I had gotten. I was doing it on an 18 count Mystic Ada from Picture This Plus. I am going to frog it because I love the fabric. I'm going to keep the fabric, but this is where I had gotten to. Not super far. I was doing my own conversion. So yeah, that is being UFO'd. I will probably work on frogging it while I'm like watching TV or something. So that is a total UFO. I don't know where I want to put things. Okay. I'm going to call it DNFing for now, which means, you know, that's like a book term, but I'm using it for this also. So I had made a mistake on this one. I did not measure my fabric, which I highly recommend everyone does moving forward. And really, this fabric would have been big enough if I had just measured. So I just started too far down. I don't have enough space. So this was Halloween in Sitta from Cressida Gogo, which looks like this. Very enjoyable. Really, really enjoyed it. Really love the fabric I was doing it on, which is 32 count vintage country mocha, Belfast linen. Very enjoyable to work on. This is what I got done. And initially, I was going to just make some adjustments and kind of figure out a way to squeeze it all in so it was there, and then I would just do like, each of these would be its own instead of one big thing, so it'd be like 5, like I would have turned them into pillows. So I don't want to have to mess with it. I really like the chart. So I am ultimately, I'm far enough away from it. I think it's been about over a year since I've worked on it. And I feel like it's been long enough that I won't be upset about having to restitch everything. Great fabric. So like I said, I'm going to frog this one so I can keep the fabric. You know, it's a loss of some floss, which just, it is what it is. I'm still kind of undecided on whether or not I'm going to do them as pillows or... Because here's what I'm thinking. I think I might do this, this, and this as pillows, and then this as its own piece, like to frame it. I don't know yet, though. I kind of like the thought of it being pillows. Anyway, so this is a DNF for now. I have no idea when I will restart it. But like I said, it's going to be frogged. And then we will go from there. Okay, like I told you guys, 3 finishes. Very exciting. So the first finish was actually part of the Milestone Manor. It was in my rotation for that. And I got really focused on it and definitely wanted to finish it. So this is Christmas Delivery from Cottage Garden Samplings, and this is what it looked like. I did this on a 40 count lap and loops. Cerulean is the name of the color that I did it on. I did it 1/2, and I did do it as charted, and it was charted with all DMC. And I love how it turned out. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. And yeah, not sure what I'm gonna do with it. This might be a good pillow. I don't know. I might frame it. We shall see. Tough to say. Yeah, so to finish this, I had to do 5,000. It was over 5,000 stitches. And honestly, the part that like took the longest are the snowflakes. I don't know if you guys can even see that. There's a bunch of snowflakes in there. And I don't know why. Those, I just was having like a tough time counting those. So that took a while. So that is that. So I had started this one December 1st, 2024, and I finished it on February 5th, 2026. Yeah. So that is finish number 1. Okay. Oh, and I would love to give this to somebody. Now, full disclosure, this is one of those charts that like, because you have to you open it and close it so many times, it is, you know, kind of ripped. Still together, you can still totally read the chart without an issue, but if anyone would like this, I would say use the word Christmas down in a comment below, and whoever you know, you'll go in for a random drawing. Finish number 2. This is from Quaint Rose Needle Arts, and this was the Scarecrow spool set. So it actually comes with the charts for all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. I specifically bought it because of this. I'm really not interested in the other ones. So now that I'm done with this, I would like to pass this along to someone also. If you are interested in this one, use the word Scarecrow. Oh, I should also say, I'm sorry, I apologize, but you have to be in the United States. Things are just too insanely crazy right now for me to trust the mail really getting anywhere else. Sometimes even iffy in the United States on whether or not it's going to show up at the correct place. So you have to be in the United States. You have to be 18 or older because you'll have to give me your address. And please do not use the word like, you know, giveaway, freebie, anything like that down in the comments. So same goes for the other one that I showed. So if you want Christmas delivery, that one won't be Christmas. If you're interested in this one, it will be Scarecrow. And again, you get all 5 of those charts in here. Okay, my finish. So I did this one as charted with the DMC, with the exception of I ended up using a Cottage Garden Threads is it called? I can't remember which one it was. This is what he turned out as, which I think is so adorable. This is on a, I want to say it's an 18 count. I think this one was an 18 count. No. Maybe a 14 count. It's just like a normal plain old Ada that I got from the big box store. So like I said, this is, I did substitute that. And if you want the colors to look like, let me take this out of here. If you want the colors to look like the one that is on the cover picture here, you have to use the fancy floss that is called for, which is primarily Weeks, I think. No. We've got Gentle Arts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Gentle Arts and 1 Classic Colorworks. And she provides the DMC conversion on here. And I could not figure out for the life of me why my colors were looking so completely different to what was on the picture. And it's because I did the DMC conversion, which is still, I think, very good. I'm happy with it. So, but you can see the colors look very different if you don't do the fancy floss. So whatever floats your boat. I'm happy with my DMC conversion with my 1 Cottage Garden thread, but you do whatever you want. All right, again, use the word scarecrow down in the comments. Also, question for you guys. I have so many charts I need to destash right now. If I did a destash over on Instagram, would anybody be interested in that? And if I did, should I do it as a live or should I just post things? I don't know. Give me some feedback. Okay, my next finish, and sorry, I'm not giving this one away because it's actually from a book. So this was from box the Starlight Stitchery did, and it was the Adventure Collection, and it was like a gaming, like tabletop gaming kind of box. Super fun. So I did, this is Tales of the Swamp Dragon. You guys know I'm a sucker for dragons. From Flossy Fox Shop. This is what the original looks like. I did my own conversion to fancy floss and just a couple of DMCs. I used Peach, I think it's called Peach Cobbler from Millennial Fabrics. And it is 30, I think it's 36 count. I had it listed over on my Instagram, and now I totally can't remember what I had said. This is, oh, and this is very accurate. This is the accurate colors here. That is exactly what the fabric looks like. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, you will know that I adore Millennial Fabrics. They are my favorite online needle shop, and they dye their own fabric, and it is just so good, their fabric. They have Ada and linen and pretty much everything. They have a fabric of the month. Their colors are just, I mean, look at this. Wow, isn't that good? So I'm going to bring them in so you can see. It might blow out the colors, but it's still pretty good. Isn't he fun? And this was a lot of color changes. So I wanted to show you guys. I'm trying to remember to show you guys my backs. So this is the back. You can see there was quite a bit of carrying because, I'll be honest, I just got tired of changing colors. So, but it's okay. You can't see it through the fabric. It's all good. So that's my third finish. All right. Those are my finishes. Next up, let's look at my progress on my other stuff. Sorry, I'm looking down because I'm actually like trying to do a good job of keeping track of this stuff in my computer this year. All right, first up is Lost No More. This was originally a DMC Gold kit. Or Dimensions, not DMC. What am I saying? It was originally a Dimensions kit. This is artwork by Greg Olson. I will put the picture of what it will look like finished up here. I am doing this on an 18 count white Ada just from the big box store, and I'm doing it as charted with the full and half crosses as indicated and the amount of floss indicated, which I think the most is 3 strands. All DMCs. So I started this one February 29th, 2024, and this is where I'm at. So the milestone I aimed at reaching this time was a page finish. And so this was a full page finish here. And, oh, that looks really good on screen. Yeah, it looks like way better on the screen than it does in person. Like you can really see, because I think it's meant to be looked at like from far away. Do you know what I mean? So, I did on this one, 2, 3. I touched this one 3 times for like almost 3,000 stitches, I think. So I am now up to 7,388 stitches and 11.5% is complete. Okay, next up is Titanic Sampler. I absolutely love this. This is one of my absolute favorite pieces that I have on the go right now. This is from Siren Stitchworks, and I didn't realize how old this one. This one was actually a 2012 design. This is what it looks like. I am not doing monochrome. For anyone that has been watching me for a while, you know that I'm not a monochrome stitcher. If you're new, I am not a monochrome stitcher. I will just do my own thing. So I am doing this one on 18 count Whisper from Millennial Fabrics. Started this one at some point in 2025, and I am doing a conversion to Forbidden Fiber Co. All the words are being done in Santorini, and everything else is being done in brick. My goal this time was a page finish, and well, I guess I had 2 milestones. A page finish, which I did. It was the page, this over here was completely finished. And then I really wanted to get this motif done here. So this is what it looks like currently. I'll bring it in and show you. I just love this so much. So this is where I worked. Look at that. Let me tell you, there is a lot of stitches in that motif right there. Isn't it gorgeous though? So fun. And I think also since last time I saw you guys, I made it all the way over to this corner. Because I think I touched this one twice. 3. I touched this one 3 times. So I had, let's see here. Added several motifs, 1 full page finish, made it all the way across on the top row. And that full motif I just showed you guys. This one it has a total of 20,564 stitches in the chart. Did I add my total into here? I don't think I added up my total. No, I definitely did not. So this time, so since I saw you guys last, 12, like 6,000 stitches I put into this since I last saw you guys. And for whatever reason, I did not add up to get my total stitches there. So, anywho, almost made it down to the bottom. There's just a little bit underneath that, that motif there that I showed you guys. Isn't it so good? So I'll show you. This is my back. My back looks pretty good. I don't think it's too bad. Yeah. Front, back, you almost can't tell the difference. Absolutely love it. I am going to need to, I believe, I'm going to need to order more of the brick. They're currently out of stock right now over on Forbidden Fiber Co. So I have like a notification to let me know when it comes back in stock. I really thought that 5 10-yard skeins would be enough, because hers are, yeah, hers come in 10 yards. So I thought 50 yards would be enough. I do not think it's going to be enough. I need to learn to always overestimate. All right, then I worked on Henriette de Soldette. This is my first ever Hands Across the Sea design. And this was part of the red box that was put out last year. I did not get the red box that just went out, that was put out for this year, but this was from the 2025 red box. I think it was All Things Bright and Beautiful, I believe was the theme. And when I saw this one, I fell in love with everything about it. So I am doing this one exactly as charted. The phrase that's on here translates to "Luck smiles at courage." And most samplers, you know, are done by young girls. This one was actually done by a much older woman who went through a lot in her life. There are quotes on each page. And so as I finish a page, I'm going to read you guys what the quote is. So I am now officially done with 2 pages, and I didn't give you guys the quote from page 1. So the page 1 quote was, "We will fail when we fail to try," which is from Rosa Parks. And the second one on page 2 is, "If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else," from Booker T. Washington. And Henriette she was 65 when she did this. And this amazing woman lived to be 100 years, 7 months, and 2 days. Crazy. And she's been through a lot. So when I finish this, I will read you guys about Henriette. For now, I have completed 2 full pages. So on this last stitching session, I finished page 2. I am doing this on a piece of Dove from Millennial Fabrics, 18 count. You tell I love Millennial Fabrics. I do have other fabrics too, I swear, but theirs are just so freaking good. This is Where I Am. And the part that I added in was really this in here. So there was also some backstitch that I had to do in here too. I worked on this for a total of like 1,500 stitches. And I didn't add the total there either. So listen, I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying to be better about recording things. But again, ADHD. All right, next up is from Vivsters. Vivsters is over on Etsy, and she has a flag for everything, Quaker flags. And there was a Quaker flag stitch along going on. I'm really bad about keeping up with stitch alongs. I pretty much do start alongs. So this I'm doing as charted. I started this April 12th, 2024, and this is being done for Cassidy because she is a Brit at heart. So I am doing this on 18 count vellum. Did more than 4,000 stitches on here. My goal for this was to get a full page complete. So I finally finished the top. What is this? Top right hand part of the chart. So look at that. So, okay. Let me pull this back. Oh, I hopefully have already put up here what this is going to look like because I don't have it printed out. I went ahead and did all the Quaker box outlines with which I highly recommend doing. That's made it so much easier. Now I get to just do all the fun stuff. As you can see, before I was kind of going all over, and now I'm kind of like trying to go in an order. I am now at, I have completed 13,960 stitches, and I'm at 29.4% complete, and I have a total of 18 Quakers done so far. So, isn't this fun? Oh, I love it. Cassie's always like, when are you going to work on my flag? So I think this will be the year it's going to get done. Hold on, Brian's calling. Sorry about that. My hubby was was ringing in. Okay, where were we? All right. Next up is from I was going to say Lena Ova. This is not Lena Ova. This is Mrs. Pagodi Art, and this is Anne Shirley. She's so pretty. For anyone that doesn't know, Anne Shirley from Anne of Green Gables, by L. Maud Montgomery. Such a good series. This I started November 17th, 2024, and the project itself has 23,920 stitches. I am doing it on a piece of 28 count Monaco from Charles Craft. I was able to get like a 10 pack from Amazon for super cheap. And I really love this fabric. And I also think it would be great to dye, but it's a full coverage, so I don't need to dye it. This is where I'm at totally. My goal was a full page finish, which was, I finished the page that was over here. I feel like that's showing up blurry for some reason. So that's what I completed. I am now at 10,388 stitches done for a total of 43.43%. So this one is coming along quite nicely. Oh, I know I was going to tell you guys. I don't typically use, it's not that I don't want to. I really would love to have like real project bags for everything. Most of them are just these cheapos that I get off of Amazon. Every now and then I order a project bag. And so the flag is actually in one of those project bags. This is from Garon. Garon tote bags over at Garon. I think it's Garon Street is their shop. Another shop that I very much like to frequent. Gary and Ronnie. I believe Ronnie sews all these bags. And this was the February 2023 bag, maybe? 2024 bag. Every now and then, they have like a monthly subscription, which I'm not part of. But every now and then they have leftovers that they will post. And so, these little gnomes. I love gnomes. So I just thought that was so cute. All right, moving on. Okay, next up is Shakespeare Quotes. This is from Taylor and Cromwell. I believe they still have an Etsy store, and they also have their own website. They're fantastic. They do a lot of like Broadway themed, literary themed, a lot of text quotes. I did a Hamilton piece that I finished last year. I have a couple other pieces going for them right now too, but so this is the Shakespeare Quotes. I did this as a Sal with Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads. She finished it. I'm still working on it. So we started this in 2023 for Shake. I always mix this up. I think it's Shaketober. No. It's Shaketember. Victober. Shaketember. So we started this for Shaketember. We got together. She lives not far from me. So we have like a halfway meeting point. And so we got together and we stitched outside to start it. And like I said, she finished hers. I haven't finished mine yet. Doing this on 18 count black Aida 2/1 as charted with the DMC. And I did 276 stitches since I saw you guys last time, and I finished another quote. So here's where I am. And I think it was this quote I finished, maybe. I don't remember. I finished a quote, another quote. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I really am hoping to finish this one this year. Okay, next up from Praiseworthy Stitches. This is Esmeralda's Academy of Charms. I'm a sucker for a good house. This has a good house. And it's a Hocus Pocus, and that's like one of Cassidy's absolute favorite movies. So I am doing this one as charted. It has this one has fancy floss and a DMC conversion. I am doing half DMC, half fancy floss. That's not typical for, I don't know what I was thinking when I ordered it. Let's just put it that way. Somehow I ended up with half DMC, half fancy floss. So I'm replacing the Gentle Arts with DMC, and I'm using the weeks as it calls for. I am eliminating altogether the Cranic. I'm regretting that now. But it is what it is. And then there will be beads added into this at the end also. I'm doing this on 16 count Cobalt from Fiber on a Whim. Started this one on December 26, 2024. And I knew I had a piece of hair. This is where I am. Oh, it's so good. I love this house. So I finished that tree and added in the people, that one person there, and the pumpkins, added in cats, worked on the house, started this piece over here. So what I was aiming to do was to finish the piece of the house that was on this side and a full page finish, which I did. And in another sitting, my goal was to finish this the tree, which I did that too. This is just fun. Did get all the way down to the bottom, so I know that I'm good on size, which I'm always a little bit nervous about. So on this one, I did like an additional 2,000, 3,000 stitches. And I don't think my total is correct on this one, so I'll figure it out for next time. And this house really is fun. I'm actually considering, I have so many things to stitch, but one of my thoughts is I have so many good houses that I bought the chart for the house, not necessarily everything around it. I might do some kind of like house sampler. I don't know, something I'm playing with in my head if I don't want to do the full sampler and I just want to have the good house. Okay, next up is Schitt's Creek sampler from Boomerang Stitches, and Amity did so amazing with this chart. Isn't it good? I just adore Schitt's Creek, and there's so many good things on here. So when I'm working on this, my goal is always to finish out a motif. That's going to be my milestone I'm trying to complete whenever I pull this out. I worked on this once. So what this is where I'm at. Doing this on a piece of, what is this? 25 count Easy Grid Lugana. So last time, because I was just doing the milestone, last time I had finished all but the fill-in for David. So I finished that, and then I did this motif here. So we now have Ew David, and okay, I won't be doing any of that, but thank you. So fun. So doing this as charted, in case I didn't say that, 1/1. So this last time, 2,286 stitches were added in. And I am now at 4,369 stitches out of 54,800, and I'm at 7.97%. Okay, next up from Long Dog Samplers. This is my first ever Long Dog. This is Act of God. Which looks like this. And I am doing all purples and pinks, and then a purples and pinks DMC, and then a yellow fancy floss. So, okay, we are doing this on 18 count vellum from Picture This Plus. This one will have a total of 69,371 full crosses and 2,353 back stitches when it's done. So this is my second time working on this year. And I initially was trying to do the border, and I just got so bored. So I am now going to do the border as I go. So my goal was to finish this Quaker, which is what I did, or motif, or yeah, motif. So let's see. If I do this, you can see it's got flowers in it, but it goes this way. So the specialty floss I am using is from Hand Dyed by Rolanda, and it is a one of a kind. Looks like this. So I had gotten 50 yards of this, so I figured this was a good one to use for a long dog. And you know, I love how it looks with those colors. I wanted like an opposite on the color wheel, and so I did pull out a color wheel, and it is an opposite. And I'm going between like doing some one over one and some 2 over 1, just for varying the looks up. Okay, next up is Bless Us, Oh Lord. And this is from Stony Creek, my first ever Stony Creek. And this is actually a gift for my niece / goddaughter, Ava, who is making her first Holy Communion this year. This is the Bless Us, O Lord, is the prayer that we say at their house before every single meal. And it also, I think, is the perfect prayer for a first Holy Communion. So, doing this as charted, with the exception of I'm changing up the colors on this butterfly to be purple. And I'm doing it on her favorite color for the fabric. So I did start this in 2026. I don't know if I said that already or not. Started January 3rd, and it has a total of 11,581 stitches when it's done. Doing this on April Showers, 16 count April Showers from Bestitch Me. That's the color right there. And I don't know why, I was a little bit intimidated by this when I first started. I did all the back stitch on that butterfly, which, let me tell you, was no small feat. There is a lot of back stitches in there. And then got almost all of the arm done, all of the like arm that's covered in the robe or whatever done. Like, to me, this looks like Jesus's. I think these are Jesus's hands. So I got almost all of this part done up to here. So this and this are done. So I still have that to go. I am now at 3,460 stitches, which puts me at 29.88%. And I need to have this done. Her first Holy Communion is May, beginning of May. But, you know, I need to get it framed and stuff. So I will have to focus on this. So far, I worked on this 2 more times since I saw you guys last. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done 7 like sessions on this since January 3rd. It'll get done. All right, and then the last project I worked on. This is Happy Halloween from Cobweb and Rose. Looks like this. And I am doing this one as charted with one exception, using the called for DMC. Doing this on 14 count pewter Witchelt. and started this on October 13th, 2024. The last time I worked on it, I did, let's see, I've touched this twice since I saw you guys last. The first time I put in 465 stitches, and the second time I put in 5,372 stitches. So this is where I am at. It's big because it's 14 count. So yeah, I now have it all the way over, so I know I'm good on that size. And this one's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fill-in, but it's not overly burdensome fill-in. So the only change I made, and this is the only change I'm making, period, is we are an allergy house, food allergy house. So the turquoise pumpkin is what people use to identify that it's a food allergy friendly trick-or-treat house. So I always like to add the turquoise pumpkin in whenever I do anything that has pumpkins. Okay, so that is all of my actual stitching since I saw you last. Let me go back to my notes. Okay, so I was on a no-buy this year, and that's not going well. It was for a little bit. It was going well. So, okay. First, let me show you the normal things that I get. So I do get the, I'm a Gentle Arts thread of the month through Millennial Fabrics. So every month I get 5 Gentle Arts, working on getting a full set. One of my favorite specialty flosses to stitch with that like has a lot of people call for, you know what I mean? So this is this times. They're kind of the month before had such fun colors. These ones are kind of like, I'd call these a set of neutrals. So espresso bean, pecan pie, crystal lake, picket fence, and apricot bush. Espresso bean is called for in a lot of charts, and so is pecan pie. So always good to have in stash. Okay, so that I always get that every month. I also get the Just Cross Stitch. So this, I wasn't even expecting this to come yet. I was so excited when I showed up. So this is the spring, right? Yeah. Yes, spring 2026. And there are, I usually have at least one chart that I like in my Just Cross Stitch. This one has so many good charts. And there is a new stitch along for this year that I absolutely want to do. So I'll just go through, I'll show you the stuff that I really like in here. Okay, so I think the springtime folk art, this is from Mid-Century Mod. I think that's super cute because it reminds me of like the Russian nesting dolls. Flowers and Stitches sampler. This is by Handmade with Chrissy. This one has a bunch of cute specialty stitches in it, so I think that will be fun. And of course I will color that one up because, no offense, but stitching in all white is, first of all, so boring, and second of all, white is not my favorite to stitch with. It's just so hard to get the stitches looking really nice. This is the one I'm absolutely in love with. So this is called Tapestry of 12. And this is their stitch along for this year. It's 12 designers. So each block, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Each block, each designer has 4 blocks. So the designers, and this is what it looks like. This is for this quarter. I haven't started it yet. But the designers are Cobweb and Rose, Flossy Fox Shop, December Stitches, Haunted Frames, Bendy Stitchy, Sprouting Lupine, Cozy DH, Sambry Stitches, Noctiflora Designs, Stitch Crypt, Wrought Iron Stitching, Witch's Garden Crafts, and looks like this was done on Picture This Plus fabric and uses Weeks Dye Works. I'm sure, though, I can be very sure that Michelle at Bendy Stitchy did not use Weeks Dye Works for hers, though. She does not use Weeks. Is this not so fun? I'm super excited to do this. Okay. So that is... Oh, and I just realized they're like each quarter seasonal. So the first one is obviously spring. This one from Tranquility Designs. This one's called True Story. I did the piece they had last year in here that was Franny Ritter. Hold on, I'll show you. This is the one that was in last spring's from Franny Ritter Designs, and I had done my own conversion for it. He Has Risen, I think is what it was called. So that was last year's. So I do definitely want to do this one, which is the Christ-inspired piece for Easter. Easter Cottage. This is from X Free Stitch. I think it's just a fun house. You know I love my houses. Fledgling's First Pick from Haunted Frames. It's just a good bird. I think it's fun. I love the little hat. Hexacomb Bee from Raven Stitchcraft. And I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was, had this posted already that did this, and it turned out so cute. I think they just did the bee, and I think that might be a good idea too. I might do that. Born to Snuggle. This is from X Free Stitch. Love my dragons. And I think that's it. So I highly recommend this one. If you see this on stands, if you're not subscribed, you see this on stands, there is a lot. I mean, I just showed you the ones that I really like. And I should say, I only showed you guys the ones that I think I'll stitch. There's more in here that are beautiful. But those are the ones I think I'll stitch. So this comes every quarter. Okay. I have 4 planned starts this year that I'm allowed to start whenever I want to. That's not true. I have dates already planned for when I'm starting them. And then any other starts, I have to finish 5 things before I start something else. So I needed to get the chart and supplies for this one. This is going to be my start for Cassidy's birthday. Cassidy loves, I'm going to say it so bad. She says it's so good. Deo de la Muertes, the Day of the Dead stuff. Coco's like one of her favorite movies ever. And this was a new release last year from Bella Filipina. And this is La Katrina. And it is gorgeous. Very Day of the Dead. So I'm going to be doing that for Cassidy. I have been saving up to get all of the stuff for this because it's like $300 some of materials. So I ordered this through 123 Stitch, and I had them, you know, I don't know if you're familiar with 123 Stitch or not. A lot of their charts, the charts that they sell, they will bring up when you're, like, do you want these things too? And it's like the supply list from it. So they'll give you like fabric options and then a list of everything. So I got everything that they had on there that was in stock. I decided to use 28 count Mirage from Picture This Plus, casual linen. Yep, that's the color right there. So I think that'll be good for that. And then this chart has a ton of DMC. So here's all the DMC. And then there are Kreinek, which as I was kitting this up, I discovered that Kreinek has been purchased by Petite Treasure Braids from Rainbow Gallery. Unfortunately, it's really hard to get your hands right now because I think they're doing like the crossover. So I think the only one I was able to get through there was the recommended, like you can use this instead from Rainbow Gallery, this one. So I have the rest set to let me know when they come back in stock. It calls for these 2 Karen water lilies. And then these are all the beads. I'm pretty sure this is all the beads that it calls for. I think all those are here. So a ton of Mill Hill. I think they're on Mill Hill. Yeah, beads, and then charms. Like there's that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Like leaves, and other kind of charms too. So this was expensive, but I saved up for this. The money that I got for, the AdSense money for this channel, went towards that. Proceeds from the books that I sell went towards that. I earned some gift cards that I was able to purchase them 1-2-3 Stitch gift cards with. So I saved to get this. Okay. We got more back from our tax return this year than we anticipated. So we were able to divvy up. My daughter got most of the money because she needed a laptop, and there was something else she wanted that we had gotten her. And then we had to pay for the rest of our bathroom renovation, and the husband and I each got a set amount of money that we could buy stuff with. I have been wanting so bad the Roxy Floss Co. conversions for some Jet X Stitch designs. I hadn't been doing it because of the tariffs. It makes the shipping a lot higher. Since this was extra money I didn't expect, I decided to go ahead and do an order with them because I can't resist. So I got the Roxy Floss conversion and linens from Roxy Floss for Blueberry J, which is just gorgeous. So for this one, I got the Floss Hannah conversion, which is beautiful. I mean, look at those colors. And I went with a 36 count Sea Breeze. I mean, guys, come on. I love it. And their conversion for Cherry Magpie, which is this one. And I'm in love with this fabric. 36 count Temptation, and that is the color. Is that not gorgeous? And the Floss Hannah conversion for that. I mean, guys, I love it. So since I had finished 3 things and I had 2 things I was getting out of my stash. Did I finish one other thing too so far this year? I don't remember. But 5 things total I've gotten out of my whip pile, which means I get to do a new start. And I am going to do one of these. I think I'm going to do Cherry Magpie because this fabric is just so good. So that's going to be a new start that I get to do. I think I'm going to do that new start today, actually. And then one last thing I got, as you can see, yeah, no buys going well. I am a member of a lot of D-stash sites, and I don't purchase from them very often, but if I see something that really calls to me, I go ahead and pick it up. So this shop is Village Sampler, and they are an actual real shop, and like you can go there and shop. Really great service. Now I have to tell you, I had to call and make payment over the phone. I got it very, very quickly. And they sent some freebies too. So what I got was, and I should also say the charts were 50% off. So this is Language of the Flowers from Rosewood Manor. And I just saw this and fell in love. Isn't that pretty? So I got this, and I will likely do a conversion when I do this, because this is like, I don't love the mutedness. I want this to be a lot brighter, but the chart itself is fantastic. And then it also came with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Came with 6 freebies themed around, a lot of them themed around St. Patrick's Day coming up. And yeah, it's just the chart. It doesn't have any pictures of what they like look like. It's just the charts, so I'm not going to show them, but they are super cute and much appreciated. So again, they're called Village Sampler. Check them out online. If you live in St. Albans, West Virginia, or near there, I would say go check them out. Had a really good experience with them. Okay. I think that's all the stitching related stuff that I have. So I have a couple of, let's see, I have some books to talk about. Oh wait, one more thing. Market just happened. So I order strictly from Millennial Fabrics for my market orders. If you have not checked out Millennial Fabrics, their customer service is beyond, okay? And Sarah, who is it's owned by Sarah and her husband, Nate. I think Nate does all the dyeing, and Sarah is kind of the face behind the store and takes care of, I think, everything except for the dyeing part. I think Nate also helps with it does like all the shipping and stuff, but they do Facebook Lives, and you really feel like you know Sarah. So I highly recommend going over to shop from them. Like I said, I want to say this is my 4th market haul I've gotten with them. So they do combine shipping. It's $6 flat rate shipping for all the market stuff. Everything, all the pre-orders are posted that you can request ahead of time. And then she does lives every night with the stuff that wasn't available to pre-put up with what you can get. So I went into market saying I'm going to be very picky. And I was. Like, a chart really had to sing to me for me to get it. More charts than I wanted to sang to me. So I did get I have several charts that will be on the way. And then I did, on her first live night, there were several things. Like there were scissors, Ort catchers, what else? Needle minders, yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. So I got some stuff from that too. So I will have a nice package on the way. So once I get that is probably whenever I will do my next FlossTube. All right, that is all the stitching. So moving on to life stuff. I finished a book. Yay me. For those of you that don't know, books used to be my thing. I started as a booktube channel, and I read over 100 books every year for several years. Last year that went way down. I'll be honest. First of all, reading physical books, I only like to read physical books when I'm outside on my porch, which limits me to like spring and summer, a little bit of fall. But a lot of times I also fall asleep whenever I'm outside because I have one of those awesome, I call it my womb. That's not what it is. It's one of those hangy hammock chair things that like wraps around you, and it's just fantastic. So I'll go out and I'll start reading, and then I tend to fall asleep for an hour or two out there, and it's just lovely. And I got to do my first porch sitting yesterday of the year. Lovely nap. So my physical reading has gone way down, and I primarily do audio now. I used to have to drive a lot. I switched jobs to where I'm now like 5 minutes from my house, and I hardly have to drive anywhere, so I don't have the time to listen in the car like I used to. And a lot of times, instead of listening to books, I'm doing something on YouTube with, I really love the true crime stuff. and watching like real court cases and things like that. So anyway, all that to say, I actually wrote a book this time. Listened to a book. So I listened to Too Old for This by Samantha Downing, who I really enjoy Samantha Downing. This is about a senior citizen who, a lot of people, she has retired from doing that, but then something happens to where she does it again and then does it several times. And you know it's a talented author when you are rooting for that kind of character. And it was done really well. The audio was very good. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It's a fun read. I think all of Samantha Downing's are fun. They're humorous. I don't know that they really keep you like guessing so much about what's happening, but it's just a fun read, and her character development's excellent. So that was super fun. I'm currently watching The Chosen, which is fantastic. I have been wanting to watch it for a long time. And it is about, it's like a TV show about the New Testament. Goes back and shows some of the old. I'm on season 2, so I don't know if it gets into like, I don't know where it goes. But really talks about, shows Jesus' time on earth. And I can't remember the guy's, Jonathan is the guy's name who plays Jesus. And he embodies him so well. And it brings so much life to Jesus and the apostles and makes them so real. It's humorous. You know, I can easily recognize the stories from the Bible that they're talking about. And it's just, I highly recommend it. I gotta tell you, the soundtrack is phenomenal. So I'm currently watching that on Prime, Amazon Prime. Really, really enjoying it. So I do highly recommend that. Like I said, on season 2, I think like season 2, episode 4 I'm on. Started that while I was at my mom's post-surgery. So after my surgery, I stayed at my mom's so she could take care of me. And at the same time, our bathroom was getting remodeled. So it kind of worked out perfectly. It was not a good time for Cassidy. This was very, very hard for her. She did way better than I anticipated, but this was really a tough 2 weeks for Cass. The bathroom got finished sooner than I thought. So anyway, so my mom was taking care of me, and so we were watching The Chosen in the evenings. Okay, things I'm excited about. Masters of the Universe, the new He-Man movie, comes out June 5th. And listen, the live action He-Man movie from the 80s, so corny. Okay. Huge Masters of the Universe fan here. But the live action was just not great. And so when I heard they were doing another live action, my expectations were not high. The trailer looked like it's going to be so good. So I plan on going to see that on opening day. So that will be June 5th. And then Project Hail Mary comes out March 19th. And that's one of my 6-star books. Has my favorite fictional character of all time in there. His name is Rocky. So if you go see it, I love him. The book is so, so good. And Andy Weir is the author, who is the one that did Martian, which was another fantastic book, and that adaptation was so good. So I have very high hopes that this is going to be good as well. So like I said, March 19th, so really looking forward to that. Okay, like I said, bathroom remodel. I'm going to put some pictures up here. So we had a leak. I know I told you guys about that several months ago. And so we turned it into the insurance company, and because of how our policy is written, everything has to match, and our house is old. So essentially the entire bathroom got redone. we didn't go crazy. Like, we kind of got bottom line stuff, but it was horrid before. So, it looks so much better now. So this is what my, bathroom looks like now. And, it has been Disneyified by, my husband and Cassidy. And I have to give my husband a lot of credit because I am like, I don't do well with making decisions. And he'd say, what do you want for this? And I'm like, just, I don't care. Anything is better than what we have now. So Phil, you make all the decisions. So he did. He made all the decisions and he did a great job. Like I said, stayed with my mom and dad. And so I got to spend lots of time with my nieces because they live right across the street. And I got to start teaching the girls how to cross stitch. So Ava has taken to it pretty well. I'm going to put a picture of her up here cross stitching. Ava is 8. She's 8. She has to be 8. I think she's 8. Anyway, you would think I should know this. I'm with my girls all the time. And yeah, 2nd grade. So Ava's taken to it very well. Livy is 6, and it's, you know, a lot harder for a 6-year-old. Wants to learn so bad. So Ava, I was able to teach, and I have her, I like showed her the motions, teaching her like vocabulary, and then letting her do what she wants. Not working on patterns yet at all, following a pattern. I think for Livy, I'm going to have to get her canvas and yarn to use. I think that'll be easier. So anyway, got to do that. Also got to introduce Ava to Harry Potter. So we are reading Sorcerer's Stone together, and here's a picture of us doing that. And then got to go over and play with it. We actually have it's fall spring currently in Pittsburgh. So we had some nice weather. It's going to get really yucky again tomorrow. But got to play outside with them and do bubbles, and got to watch them on the trampoline and all that fun stuff. So got to spend a lot of time with them over the last 2 weeks. They wanted me, they were hoping it was going to take like longer than they said for my bathroom, and it took less. So they were a little bit bummed that I had to leave. And then, like I said, I'm redoing my shelves. So, that's kind of all my life stuff. I'm off. I go back to work this next Monday coming up, which is the 15th. Let me think. Today's the 10th. Today would have been my grandmother's birthday if she were still alive. So I think, what is it? 15th, 17th, 18th? Whatever Monday is coming up, that's when I go back to work. So, I think that's all. All right. Like I said, don't forget, if you would like the scarecrow charts, say scarecrow down below. If you would like the Christmas delivery chart, use the word Christmas down below in the comments. And I will hopefully catch up with you guys as soon as I get my Nashville stuff. Anywhere you can find me is down below in the comments. I am trying to be more active over on Instagram with posting progress pictures. So if you want to see what I'm doing in between, make sure you go over and follow me there. And like I said, also my Pango store is down there as well. And my email. If you guys are ever interested in corresponding with me one-on-one. I also respond to Instagram DMs. I know I'm friends with some of you guys on Facebook, and we Insta message through there also. So, all right, that's it for real. All right, I'm sorry if this is a long one. I will catch up with you guys later. Bye.